This 10 best pickups for Belisarius Cawl is everything you need if you love to play Control. Control and Commander format is an interesting style of play because you're essentially trying to lock out 3 different types of decks. Before I share the 10 best pickups and share why number 3 Phyrexian Bitterblossom is my favorite recommended card, let's review this card's strength quickly. Belisarius Cawl is a versatile artifact themed commander for Control players. Create Astartes tokens instantly or search for a desired artifact in your library. Our first card is White Sun's Twilight. At its best, it is a pseudo one-sided board wipe that creates 5 1/1 Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens. That is a mouthful. And then you can gain 5 life, and then destroy all other creatures. You're going to use the Might artifact creature tokens to fuel both abilities. They are the Ultima Funding, which requires you to tap 2 artifacts to create a 2/2 Astartes Warrior creature token, or the Master Machines ability where you can tap X creatures to look at the top X cards for an artifact card and put it into your hand. Overall, the Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens are multi-purpose creatures. Second card is Flare of Faith. I will use this mostly as an additional inexpensive protection spell for EDH decks. Since Belisarius Cawl is a human, he will get +3/+3 and indestructible until end of turn. Flare of Faith does meet the requirement for Isochron's Scepter if you wanted to give the card some replay value. Now moving on to the favorite card, number 3 is Phyrexian Accord. This Azorious enchantment allows you to prevent future damage. Where it becomes abusive is when you have a spell or an ability that can tap your opponent's creatures. You can prevent them from attack with this ability. The card gets better when your opponent attacks either you or an opponent and their creature becomes tapped. After all these types of actions, you can add a shield counter, and when removed from Phyrexian Accord, it prevents the next 1 damage. Also, note you can proliferate these shield counters. Fourth is Key to the City. Essentially, this is your low CMC artifact that gives you card draw. In order to draw cards, you will need it to be tapped and become untapped. Tap it with Belisarius Cawl's first ability. While it becomes untapped, during your upkeep, pay the additional 2 mana to draw a card. If you want to get aggressive and do some combat damage, you can make target creature unblockable for the turn. This isn't limited to your creatures. Use that advantage for political gain in your commander match. Fifth is Unctus Grand Architect. This is a card draw combo. The Master Machines ability from Belisarius Cawl synergies with Unctus Grand Architect when you have blue creatures will give a whole new meaning to card draw. Tap them with the Master Machines ability and start your Rummage effect. Rummage effect is when you draw a card and then discard a card. It gets better. He has the ability to make card draw at will because you can change your creature into a blue artifact creature by paying 1 blue mana or Phyrexian life. So draw cards until you're heart content with these 2 together. Next up we have is the Encroaching Minkosith. For 4 mana, it's an artifact that turns all your non-land permanents into artifacts. Well, it actually adds them as an additional type, so they maintain their original type. But hey, this counts for permanents you control and non-land permanents you control that aren't on the battlefield also. Next up we have is the Authority of the Consuls. It's just another way to just slow down your opponents. For 1 white mana, creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped, and whenever they cast a creature, or a creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Next up is Scroll's Hive. I've talked about this card before. It is the toxic version of Bitterblossom. You're going to be making 1/1 colors Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens that have toxic 1 and they can't be blocked. Next card we have is Charge of the Mites. I love this card because it is an instant. It has 2 abilities. Charge of the Mites deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker. So it's a way to get rid of any pessimistic creatures on your opponent's side. Otherwise, at instant speed, you create 2 1/1 Phyrexian Might creature tokens and use this ability with Belisarius Cawl to give yourself some card draw. Finally, we have Mirrex. It is a sphere land. You tap it to add 1 colors, or you tap it to add 1 mana of any color only if it entered the battlefield this turn. Otherwise, tap 3 mana to create another Phyrexian Might. And this is a land, so how often is land destruction a part of your opponent's game plan? Few and far between, but you will see it coming anyways. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe on anything that you feel like you do agree with or you don't agree with. Otherwise, these 2 videos on the screen are suggestions from YouTube specifically for you to enjoy.